When did you guys even start planning, and then when you guys start recording the process of starting a Christmas album? Because you had mentioned you finished in September and it came out, end of
That's right.
October. But
Yeah.
I'd love to hear
Yeah.
that process.
It's the timing is different every year. This year it was particularly early because we knew how ambitious this project was going to be and how many collaborators we wanted to have. And so it actually, the whole idea for this album was spawned from the Disney Plus special that is coming out this holiday season, which was a holidays around the world type of thing where it kind of takes you around the globe. There's like fan mail, people write in and then they go visit them in all these different countries. And so along with that, the band was like, oh, we should do something that ties into that because that's what we're doing this holiday season. So that special was actually filmed in January. So like a whole year
Oh
before.
my gosh.
So we finished that. We were doing that during the winter. And then after that, we're like, okay, we want to start working on this album. And we started to conceptualize it, think about who we wanted to get on it. And talks for that started around February, March, I think, where we had our like initial conversations. And we started to think about the goals for this album, wanting to get new fans from all around the world, wanting to highlight some incredible music and musicians from all around the world and different musical styles and languages that we may not have heard before, that the Pentatonix audience may not have heard or had exposure to. It was a really cool opportunity. As soon as they mentioned that it was going to be a world album, I was like, all in, and I really wanted to make sure that it was a really good representation of the actual musical cultures that we were collaborating with and working with, and not just, okay, we're gonna do this Pentatonix arrangement and feature a singer from this country and a singer from this country and a singer from this country, but rather really getting the full musical landscape and textures and sounds from a lot of these different countries. So that was something that was really important to me as we started this process, and something I was always kind of like, God, I really want to do this, So there were a lot of different things that we were thinking about when choosing songs, collaborators. It was a long process of, asking people saying no or people not responding and having another list. And yeah, it was a big process. I can keep just talking.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's phenomenal, man. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. And I think that is such a funny part of the industry in that sense that like, man, almost like two weeks after Christmas, you guys are starting the following Christmas special, which is such an interesting process.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting, actually. That's different than I would have actually expected. I thought the album came first, and then the special was like tied into it. But it's actually the complete opposite. The special came, and
Yeah.
then you're like, hey, let's do an album based on the concept of the special.
Exactly. I mean, in like as an internal organization, Pentatonix and all the people that work with Pentatonix, we're very flexible. We can kind of adapt and do anything at any time. We can make any album for anything. That's kind of the thing that is the most flexible. And so when something like the Disney opportunity comes along, that is more inflexible. That's like, you have this opportunity for this special. It's going to film at this time. Here's what we want to do for it. There's more of a vision from Disney people. So there's a lot that we don't have control over for something like that. So, when we have that situation, we're like, okay, how can we kind of make the most impact and have the most kind of cohesive Christmas presence this year? And this year it was an international global thing. So
Well, I think it's a tremendously cohesive because I wouldn't even know that they were two separate things. So, like you
right.
guys did a phenomenal job at branding that. I totally thought that they were combined together in a collaboration. That's pretty remarkable, actually.
Yeah, it's different because it's a TV thing and because it's a Disney thing. Disney has kind of the ownership over a lot of that audio and a lot of the creative for that. So there are actually versions of the same songs that we did on the album that are on the special. It's the same song but different versions. And that
Very
was
interesting.
part of the song selection process, is that, oh, people are going to watch the special and they're going to want to go listen to it. And though we can't actually have those versions, we can have different versions of the same song. And so they may see like, oh, I love the Icelandic choir singing Silent Night. Why don't I go find the Silent Night? And it's a different version, but it's also amazing.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
kind of wanted to tie in the same songs that we were doing on the Disney special with the album.